Hey there. Thank you for being here again. I'm going to go ahead and share another wonderful creator that's putting content out for y'all. Some of you may have seen him and may already be subscribed, but I wanted to make sure that if you aren't, that you can find him. Um, the the people here are holding him back and pushing his stuff down, and I think it's important that we all love and support each other. So I'm going to go ahead and play a video from him here in a second. Please be sure to check out my description, and the link is in the description and some additional information that you need to know for him. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy one of his latest videos. And again, give them love. Tell them that God wins 777 sends their love. I love you all and appreciate y'all too. Here we go.
Welcome to Open Source News. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notifications bell so you don't miss a thing.
Welcome to Open Source News. I am your brother and your host, BCP. It is Sunday, and you know what that means? This is the Weekend Roundup, where I go bam, bam, bam through a whole bunch of news stories that you should know, need to know, and will probably want to know going into the end of the weekend. So when you get back to school and work on Monday, you are well informed of what's going on, and you can talk to your friends, family, and neighbors from a position of authority and knowledge because you know what's going on. Now, there's a lot of news about Afghanistan. In this particular episode, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of breaking news items, and things you should know that do not have to do specifically with what's going on in Afghanistan. Not only is that story a downer, I covered in the previous episode how that is going to be used to get Joey out of office. And if you missed that episode, I dropped it several hours ago. Please make sure you watch it. In this weekend roundup, I'm going to give you a lot of important news that you may have missed because the focus has been on Afghanistan. By the way, as you can see, I'm still here in Wisconsin. We are going to have a meetup tonight, Sunday, August 22nd, here in the Green Bay area over at Titletown across the street from the stadium. We will be in the quad area in front of Hinterland. So we'll be there at 7 p.m. Tonight to about 9-ish or whatever. So come on out. It's a meet and greet. It's a meet and hug. It's a meet and say hi. We'll chat and hang out for a few hours. Look forward to my cheeseheads and Wisconsins and Green Bay folks, Packer fans and non-Packer fans, to come out and hang out with us Sunday evening. All right, let's get into the news. Let's start off with Texas and this very interesting incident that happened to Colonel Allen West. By the way, if you enjoy these updates, please smash that like button. And if you haven't done so yet, if you're one of the 2% who aren't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to check out our off-platform show at bcpextras.com. Allen West explains a very interesting incident that happened to his wife. Watch and give me your thoughts down below after watching it.
Hey, greetings, everyone. This is Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, and I got to tell you, I'm highly pissed off right now. It's a little bit of about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was down in Waco, Texas, having dinner with Ted Nugent and some other people, and I got back to Dallas to find out that someone had arrested my wife, Angela, when she had my grandson, Jackson, in the back seat of the car and charged her with, quote-unquote, suspected DUI. And now I'm down here at the Dallas County Jail. They won't allow me to see Angela. They're saying that there's nothing I can do. They will not allow me to see a supervisor. Angela, and I've talked to people that had dinner with her at PF Chang's here in Dallas. She had water and lemonade. But the thing that upsets me the most is that they took my wife, arrested her, and brought her in jail and left my grandson with 2 Dallas police officers. Luckily, they were able to get in contact with our youngest daughter, Austin, who was able to go and pick up Jackson from 2 police officers on the side of the road. This is crap. Now, I support the thin blue line, but this is insidious. They put my grandson at risk, at jeopardy, left him with a couple of police officers, and carted his grandmother into jail when she had water and lemonade. That's what witnesses said. They were with her at dinner, water and lemonade for dinner. I'm beyond livid, and I'm telling you something. The Dallas County Sheriff's Office, the Dallas Police Chief, I want an explanation of this. I want to know who arrested my wife for quote unquote suspected DUI when she had water and lemonade and her breathalyzer test came up negative. I am pissed.
Folks, I've been saying for a long time, eventually I want to be a Texan. But man, I keep hearing and seeing this. I'm not trying to be negative here, folks, but Texas is a big state. It's going to have a lot of drama. Now, by the way, I've repented, if you will. I've changed my mind after doing further analysis. I'm not in Texas, and I've liked some of the things that Governor Greg Abbott has said, but when it came to his executive order and him not enforcing his executive order for the few days that he knew that he could before having the regime of the former Vice President Joe Biden stop him, and I'm referring to the executive order that Greg Abbott did in stopping non-law enforcement from transporting illegal aliens within the state. When I saw that and started looking more into Greg Abbott, he's all talk, no action. Colonel West would be the guy that I would vote for governor of Texas if I were currently a Texan. Is this some kind of political retribution? Are the police correct? Perhaps she hadn't drunk water and lemonade. Maybe she drank water and lemonade, but perhaps she took medication or something that impaired her. I don't know. I try to be objective on these things, but this is definitely an interesting story, and I will follow it up if we get more information. But this is very, very interesting. What are your thoughts down below? You think something nefarious is happening, or do you think that perhaps she was intoxicated? Remember, according to Colonel West, the breathalyzer came back negative. And I would be also very concerned, not that I mistrust police or whatever, but it just seems like there's something wacky going on here. Is this something political going on in Texas? I need you, my Texans, who perhaps have more information about this, to comment down below. All right, folks, like I said, I'm not going to talk about what's going on in Afghanistan necessarily, but once again, folks, I've been telling you that one of the end plays with Afghanistan is to have a failure there so they can flood our country with people that are going to destroy us from within. They're also going to use it as an excuse to get rid of Joey. If you missed that, please check out the previous episode. But the flooding has already started with people coming into this country from Afghanistan that probably many of them don't share our Western values.
Hundreds of Afghan refugees arriving here at Dulles International Airport tonight and over the past several nights and days as well, as those commercial flights are still flying out of Kabul. We found many of them at some local nearby hotels, but are not disclosing the location, of course, for their safety. But many of them simply families with just suitcases of whatever they could bring with them. Many of the refugees we saw didn't want to go on camera out of fear. But they say they were in Kabul as it fell over the weekend. Most of them say they worked alongside U.S. military troops, and that's why they were able to get out just in time.
Now, at the time of this recording, once again, I'm trying to stay away from Afghanistan, but this is happening here in the United States. They have evacuated thousands and thousands of these special immigration visa recipients and others, more than American citizens. Let that sink in. Who is the priority of this administration? And where are these people going that are here now that they've been brought over from Afghanistan?
Now, we're told that this operation is part of a larger State Department effort, but the organization putting this together could not confirm any details with us, since they say their primary concern was the privacy and security of the refugees. These refugees coming here to the DMV say they'll stay in hotels for a few days until they're able to get in contact with any family members or friends that they may have across the states. Now, many nonprofit organizations here in the DMV now working around the clock to get these folks relocated and housed, as we mentioned, many of them now having to start their life over here in America from the ground up.
So in answer to the question, where are these people going? Let's turn over to ABC 7 News, who reports that these people are supposedly only staying in the DC area temporarily, and many of them are going to places like Texas, because Texas hasn't had its fair share of non-citizens coming into their state, and California. But that's not it. They've also have begun to arrive in St. Louis, Missouri, according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Also, they are arriving in New Haven, Connecticut, where refugee contractors are working to permanently resettle them there. Also, we're finding out that they are also in South Carolina. So, folks, that's where they're at. Now, let me just show you how insane and stupid you would think, but it's actually all by design with Joey as the fall guy, how they are. The Biden administration has extended the ban on legal, non-essential land border crossings. So we're getting flooded in the southern border with low-wage workers, with criminals, rapists, pedophiles, and people who are just, yes, coming to America for a better life. We can't deny that they're coming for that purpose, but they're coming illegally and they're going to displace workers. Now, I've mentioned in the past that this, of course, the left and the Democrats are always talking about, oh, we're for Black and Latinos, yet poor Blacks and Latinos are displaced by these low skilled workers. So are, as pointed out by one of my great brothers here on YouTube, so are our poor white brothers and sisters, our working class and low skilled laborers and skilled laborers as well, are also being displaced by this cheap labor coming in. But while all that is going on, DHS has extended people with money from coming into our country. So we're getting flooded with refugees. We're getting flooded with illegal aliens, with unaccompanied minors. But people who legally can come into the country for non-essential things like vacationing, spending money, buying things, and spurring our economy, this Department of Homeland Security is stopping them or continuing the stoppage. The Department of Homeland Security announced on Friday an extension of the non-essential travel ban at land border ports along the U.S.-Mexico and U.S.-Canada borders. The ban, now in place for 18 months, prohibits non-immigrant visa holders from entering the United States for recreational travel, shopping, or visiting relatives. DHS put the COVID-19 travel ban in place in March 2020 and extended it on a monthly basis. The latest extension will push the potential expiration of the ban to September 21st, 2021. Now, for a second time in as many days, Hutchinson County Sheriff Blake Kemp and his deputies were forced to release migrants after federal officials refused to take them into custody. Sheriff's Office officials released the migrants, 24, after Kemp exhausted all efforts to get assistance from federal agencies. Deputies arrested 2 suspects and charged them with trafficking of persons, among other charges. Human traffickers and the feds will not take them, and they had to be released. I can go into more detail, but we don't have collectively enough hair to pull out. So you have the rough outline. By the way, the unseen Veep, the former senator, is going to be campaigning for Gavin Newsom in his recall fight. These people have no sense of what the people want. She's disliked. He's disliked. She will be harming him probably more than hurting him. But what do you do with these people? Their hubris is beyond measure. All right, folks, let's talk about what's going on with the Durham report and the Durham investigation. There's a watchdog group, Empower Oversight. They're asking the Justice Department whether AG Merrick Garland is going to allow Special Counsel John Durham's Russia collusion probe to continue, and if they're going to provide funding for it, because the fast approaching new fiscal year is coming up and they have to allot money for that. Quote, under the regulations governing the special counsel, it is up to the Attorney General to decide whether to allow the investigation to continue into a new fiscal year and whether to approve the budget necessary for it to do so. The group suggests its concern about the roughly 10-month-long probe by Durham, a former U.S. attorney, into the handling of the 2016 Russia investigation by law enforcement and intelligence agencies are based on previous statements by Garland and the department. At his confirmation hearing, when asked whether he would commit to providing special counsel Durham with the time and budget needed to complete the investigation, Attorney General Garland failed to do so. So AG Garland wasn't forthcoming in what his plans were, and these people want to know what's going on. But that's not it. Do nothing Mitch McConnell and 43 GOP senators, which would be a majority of the 50 senators, are asking Garland to make Durham's Russia probe report public upon completion. Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and 43 Republican senators, including Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee and Senator Rick Scott of Florida, asked Attorney General Merrick Garland on Thursday for an update on the status of Special Counsel John Durham's investigation into the Crossfire Hurricane probe and requested that he make the report public when it's complete. Now, we still don't know when that's going to happen. It's still hush-hush. We do know about $1.5 million have been spent so far, but we haven't seen any kind of product, whether a final product or an interim one. Quote, Attorney General Merrick Garland must pledge to publicly release the full report and allow Special Counsel Durham to continue this investigation uninhibited past September 2021, Blackburn, one of the senators who signed the letter, said in a statement. We are over 2 years in the investigation of how the Obama-Biden FBI spied on an incoming president, and we still do not have answers. America's national security apparatus was weaponized to take down President Trump, and the American people deserve to know how this occurred. As you probably know, Durham was appointed by former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr. Also, I might add, the first acting Attorney General for Biden, as he totally ignored what Trump wanted, and in the final weeks in his position helped approve the 17 executive orders that Joey had on day one. I don't expect much to come out of this. I also don't expect much to come out of the articles of impeachment against President Biden that Marjorie Taylor Greene is drawing up. But I thought I'd mention that that's happening. Also, check this out. AP is reporting that Reverend Jesse Jackson and his wife have been hospitalized for COVID. Well, isn't that interesting? Because the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the Reverend, one of the worst individuals I know in politics, by the way, made a public showing of him getting vaccinated. Him and his wife, I understand why, I know he is, and his wife are vaccinated as well, but somehow they are hospitalized with the bug. The Reverend Jesse Jackson, a famed civil rights leader and two-time presidential candidate, and his wife Jacqueline have been hospitalized after testing positive for COVID-19, according to a statement Saturday. Jackson, 79, is vaccinated against the virus and received his first dose in January during a publicized event as he urged others to receive the inoculation as soon as possible. He and his wife, 77, are being treated at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago. Doctors are currently monitoring the condition of both, according to the statement from Jesse Jackson's nonprofit, the Rainbow Push Coalition. Isn't that interesting? All right, folks, check this out. I'm just going to report the facts to you here as it's being reported. You can draw your own conclusions. A report surfaced from the Torrance, California Police Department that they arrested a man that was in possession of Xanax, a loaded firearm, meth, and thousands of ballots. According to a report, a Torrance police officer was called to check up on a man that was passed out in his SUV at a 7-Eleven parking lot. After the officer didn't get a response from the man in the vehicle, the officer further investigated the situation and was able to find a loaded firearm, Xanax, meth, and mail. The ballots are more than likely from California's ongoing recall election, which is an attempt to remove Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom and in return replace him with someone else, most likely Republican Larry Elder. Why was a man, by the way, I think we have some more information on this. Department Sergeant Mark Ponagalik told a news service that the investigation is ongoing as to why the felon, so he is a felon, had the ballots, and other agencies have contacted Torrance police about the ballots. In a press release, the suspect was arrested for numerous weapons, narcotics, and forgery charges. So why was a meth, narcotics felon who is a forger with a whole bunch of ballots for the recall? Isn't that interesting? All right, folks, let's end it there. I think that's a good story to end on. At least it's an interesting one. And if you're in California or if you're outside of California and you're getting November 4th vibes, nothing to worry about. Remember, 2020 was the safest and most secure election ever, according to the left. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Those of you in Wisconsin, please join us in front of Hinterland in Titletown across from the stadium tonight, Sunday, the 22nd of August, from 7 to 9 o'clock or longer if we have a good turnout. Ciao, goodbye, God bless. Please hit that like button. And if you haven't done so yet, check out our off-platform show at bcpextras.com and put your comments down below. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you for
Okay. So there you go. You can see Brother BCP is amazing. Love him to death. Love his humor. I think we can all understand his humor. And please go over there, check him out. He has great, great stuff up there. I recommend you watch all of his new stuff. And then if you have time, go back and watch some of his older stuff. There's truth in everything. Definitely go over there and subscribe. Help him out. They're being throttled back. And I want to give him some love. So that's what this is. Give him some love from me. Let him know I sent you. And I hope you have a blessed part of your day. And I'll be back in a little bit. Be blessed and be happy. We're in good hands.